Hi, my name is Kelly Andrews, and this is my Restore story. I had my first Restore session in the fall of 2014, and after that first session, I began serving on the team pretty much right away because I loved the freedom that I experienced from Restore session, and I wanted to be a part of others. Jesus has done so much through my life through Restore. But one of the biggest things that he's done is taken my fear and replaced it with truth. I remember I was so afraid before my first session. I was nervous. I was anxious. I had no idea what was going to be exposed. I had a lot. I was living in a lot of sin and a lot of darkness and a lot of shame in my life at the time of my first Restore session. And so I was afraid. I had no idea what to expect, what was going to happen. And I was so nervous that the women and the team that was a part of my Restore session was afraid that they were going to judge me and shame me and look at me differently. And I realized very quickly as we got into my session that was Satan trying to prevent me from experiencing the freedom that Jesus had for me. All of that to be said, Ephesians 5, I think, is something that came up and talks about how we were once in darkness, but we are called to walk as children of the light and to expose that sin, to no longer live in darkness, but to live in light. And that's what happened. Jesus is so kind, and he is so good, and he is so faithful. And he didn't expose me. He didn't leave me hanging out to dry all by myself. He exposed my sin, and that needed to happen. But he wrapped me so tight in his arms, and he forgave me. And I didn't feel shame. I didn't feel fear. I didn't feel any of the things that I thought, but I felt free. I felt like I was really experiencing freedom. And now, almost 2.5 years later, I feel so honored that I get to be a part of the Restore team. And even before I have sessions, I feel anxious and fear coming on. But it's so important to remember that God didn't give us a spirit of fear or timidity, but he gave us a spirit of power and love and self-control. And through Restore, Jesus has done amazing things. But for me, having the opportunity to walk with Jesus hand in hand in a tangible and really beautiful way, in that power, in that love, in that self-control, and that freedom is probably my favorite thing. And that's my Restore story.